This is Smokin' Dave, and you're listening to a man who always holds the door open for old ladies, especially if they're rich and single. It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
Hey now, it's Friday, May 4th, and another SportsGossip.com podcast is on the air. I'm your host, Kevin Friedman, along with my announcer, Smokin' Dave, and together we will bring you 10 of the hottest stories off the SportsGossip.com website. Dave, start us off with story number 1.
Jazz fan gets into James Harden's face.
The Jazz tied up their series with the Rockets Wednesday night at a game apiece, and at halftime of that game, James Harden got into it with a fan. This little nerdy fan acted all tough because he was in a basketball arena and knew Harden wouldn't attack him. Now, I'm assuming this guy is a Jazz fan, and this game was played in Houston. My question is, where are the Rockets fans to defend James Harden? You take this little nerd and you kick his ass for doing that to Harden. If I saw that go down and I was a Rockets fan at that game, I would have absolutely sent a message to this kid, and I don't even care if they threw me out of the game. It'd be worth it. James Harden would probably send me a personal thank you note and invite me to the next game. Dave, what's next?
James Harden slapped a fan's phone after he called him the biggest flopper.
So to continue with this story, coming out of halftime, Harden's walking back to the court. There's a fan filming him. I guess he's taunting him also, but he's not getting in his face like the other guy, and Harden slaps his phone down. Now this, you can't do. If the fan's not getting in your face, and he's just filming you and taunting you, calling you a flopper, you gotta take that. And again, this game was in Houston. Where are these Rockets fans defending their players? You can go to sportsgossip.com to watch both videos. Game 3 of this series is tonight in Utah, and let's see if James Harden can get some revenge. Dave, what's next?
Waffle House hero James Shaw Jr. meets his NBA idol Dwayne Wade.
The Waffle House hero was on the Ellen Show, and Ellen surprised him with his favorite basketball player, Dwayne Wade. Personally, I would have went with Michael Jordan. But if he loves Wade, he loves Wade. This guy is a true hero. He disarmed a gunman in a Tennessee Waffle House, saving a bunch of lives. He's a national hero. And I'm guessing being on the Ellen Show and meeting Dwayne Wade is just the beginning for this hero. Dave, what would you have done in that Waffle House if you were there?
I would have found the fattest person in the restaurant and hidden behind him.
Dave, you are not a true American hero. Now what's next?
Sammy Sosa talks about return to Chicago.
Sosa sat down with NBC Sports Chicago to discuss the 20th anniversary of his MVP season back in '98, and Sammy claims he is a very humble guy and he wants to come back to Chicago for the fans. Now this is the biggest crock of horse shit I've ever heard. Sammy is not a humble guy. Does a humble guy drive around in a yellow Lamborghini? Because that's what I remember him driving around in when I used to go watch him play. He also gave hand signals to about everyone in the stadium to try and draw attention to himself. Not to mention he's a cheater and a steroid user. There's no bigger Cub fan than me, and I don't want him back. I never want to see him at Wrigley again. Guy cheated me. I said it before, I'll say it again. Forget about Sammy Sosa. We want Mark Grace back. The guy is 900 times more of a Cub than Sammy Sosa could ever hope to be. I pray the Ricketts family does not accept Sosa back, and if somebody is listening, give Mark Grace a call because he was the ultimate Cub of the 90s, even more so than Ryan Sandberg. Dave, what's next?
PETA not happy with Titans O-line's treatment of catfish during pregame festivities.
Prior to Game 2 of the Jets-Predators series, the Tennessee Titans offensive line tried to fire up the crowd by pouring beer and drinking it off of a dead catfish. It worked because the crowd went crazy, but now PETA is stepping in, sending out a tweet saying that act was horrifying. Now, I got nothing against PETA. I don't believe in torturing dogs or cats or horses or any of that, but this is a catfish. It's a dead fish. Pick your battles, PETA. This one's idiotic. Who cares about a catfish? I'll tell you who. Nobody. I hope someone from Detroit goes to the PETA headquarters and throws a dead octopus in their lobby, because they deserve it for that stupid tweet. That's 5 stories down, 5 to go. We gotta take a break. We'll be back right after this.
This is Ivan Babushka of Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium, and I am here to announce that for every Vatrushka you buy at my restaurant, you get free Budweiser if you say, "What's up?" So come to Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium, have some Vatrushka, and don't forget, what's up?
And we're back. Dave, give us that next story.
The real reason the Cowboys cut Dez Bryant.
Cowboys scouting chief Will McClay went on the radio the other day and claimed the reason the Cowboys cut Dez Bryant was simply because he was not worth the money. He claims his productivity did not equal his salary, and that is the simple reason he was cut. Bryant is only 29 years old. He has not signed with another team yet, but when he does, he will now have an even bigger chip on his shoulder thanks to these comments. We'll have to wait and see where Dez lands. Let's hope it's in the NFC East. Dave, what's next?
LaMelo Ball called lazy and arrogant by teammates in Lithuania.
The 3-month stint of the Ball brothers playing in Lithuania is over, and now LaMelo Ball's teammates are trashing him, calling him lazy and arrogant. Now, first off, he's a 16-year-old kid, and I watched a couple of these games, and while yes, he's not a good teammate, he plays no defense, but his offensive game makes up for it. Guy's an incredible ball handler, great shooter, great passer, and all he needs is a good coach who he respects, and I guarantee he'll start playing defense and become a team player. This guy has NBA talent, and I really hope his dad plans to get him in college after he graduates high school, because this guy needs to play for a coach like Coach K or Bill Self, somebody that can command his respect and make him a better player. Now, the middle brother, I don't see much hope for him in the NBA. He's a decent player, but he's too short and not quick enough. But the younger one could definitely be a good NBA player. He just needs some coaching. Let's hope his dad is smart enough to realize that and gets him into college. Dave, what's next?
Evan Turner is trying to box some random dude on Twitter.
So this guy who goes by the Twitter handle Jake the Tailgater with an 8 just sent out a random tweet listing a bunch of athletes he would like to punch in the face. One of them was Evan Turner, and the Blazers guard, for some reason, responded to him. First he wrote back, "Shut up, ho." Then he wrote another message to the guy, telling him he's coming back to Portland this summer, and he wants to box him, and he told him to direct message him. The guy got back to him and said he would show up, and probably lose. You can check out the whole exchange on sportsgossip.com. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're a famous athlete and you're on Twitter for anything other than promotional reasons, you are a dummy. And to challenge random people to boxing matches, you're a total idiot. Dave, you should have challenged Evan Turner. Maybe we would have got our podcast some pub.
I'm throwing out the challenge right now. Turner, you and me, a mud wrestling ring, both naked. Let's get it on.
You want to mud wrestle him naked?
That's the only way to fight. I'm in a naked mud wrestling league on Tuesday nights if you ever want to come.
Think I'm going to pass on that one. What's next?
Patrick Beverley's mom wins big time on The Price is Right.
The LA Clipper guard's mom was on The Price is Right, and she had a very lucky day. She made it all the way to the Showcase Showdown. She ended up winning 2 cars, a 6-night trip to Madagascar, $1,000 in cash, a total value of $41,000. Beverly was so excited he went on Twitter and said watching her win was like winning a playoff game. Pretty awesome story if you ask me. I haven't watched The Price is Right since the Bob Barker days, but it is a great show. Dave, how about you? You ever watched The Price is Right?
I was actually a contestant contestant back in 1992, but they couldn't air the episode.
Why not?
Well, let's just say I got a little handsy with Bob Barker on camera.
A little handsy? Should I even ask you to explain this?
Well, you know how Bob used to always kiss the women when they won? Well, I went in for a kiss. I might have slipped him a little tongue, and I might have grabbed his ass. Long story short, I've been banned from every game show set in Los Angeles.
And why does that not surprise me? Dave, give us that final story.
Kawhi Leonard's uncle, Dennis Robertson, is the problem in San Antonio.
Well, everyone knows Kawhi Leonard sat out for the playoffs and let down his Spurs teammates and head coach Greg Popovich. Everyone was wondering what the problem is, and according to Peter Vesey, Leonard's uncle, Dennis Robertson, is the main problem. According to this, Coach Popovich hates him and tries to limit his involvement with the team as much as possible, and Vesey claims this is the reason Leonard is upset. Now, I know Peter Vesey is a well-respected reporter, but this story makes zero sense. I mean, if Leonard really cares about his uncle getting that much respect from the Spurs, that he sat out the playoffs because of it, that's just too ridiculous of a story to believe. And if it is true, then Kawhi Leonard's got major problems. But the bottom line is it looks like Leonard will not be with the Spurs after this season, and let's hope whatever team he goes to can get along with his uncle. Alright, that'll wrap things up on the SportsGossip.com podcast. I want to thank my announcer, Smokin' Dave. I want to thank you for listening. And for these stories and much, much more, you can go to our website at SportsGossip.com. Our next podcast is Tuesday. And until then, we'll see you next time.